Now that the new Avatar series Seven Havens has been announced, it's reignited some old arguments between Korra and Aang fans, especially between who had the worst villains in their series. So I thought I'd rank the top 10 strongest villains in the series, and whichever series took up less spots had weaker villains. For some rules, I won't be breaking any spirits, and I won't be taking any outside amps in consideration, so things like Sozin's Comet or the full moon will just be ignored. So at number 10, I have Minghua, a member of the Red Lotus. Zuko said any member of the Red Lotus could individually take down any bender. As for her actual on-screen feats, she was superior to Kaya. She was able to casually dismiss Eska and Deska at the same time, and she was able to beat up Mako at night. So next up at number 9, we have Gazan. He's a powerful earthbender and lava bender and was able to get the better of old Zuko. Gazan ranks right above Minhwa because he didn't lose his 1v1 at the end of season 3 to Bolin, and he only started to lose after he started getting jumped by both brothers, and even then he was almost able to take both of them out with his final suicide attack. At number 8, I have LOK, a former member of the Red Lotus, and he's a powerful waterbender and the inventor of spirit bending, able to 1v2 Mako and Berlin, and he was winning. They were weaker in book 2, but I still think this is really impressive. He was also able to beat up his brother Tonraq relatively quickly. At number 7, I have Azula. Azula is the extremely talented firebender and the only person in the series to use blue flames. She was able to consistently beat on Book 2 Aang and stalemate with Zuko in Book 3. She's capable of generating lightning and redirecting lightning in the comics. At number 6, I have Combustion Man, obviously able to Combustion Man by the name, one of the most dangerous forms of firebending. He was able to force the gang to flee from him multiple times and just completely dismisses Zuko in one shot. Aside from Sozin's Comet Ozai, he easily has some of the craziest firepower feats in ATLA. Katara bent a whole lake at him and he just deleted it from existence. It's crazy. Starting off our top 5, I have Pli, another member of the Red Lotus, so Zuko's statement about their power should also apply to her. She's another combustion bender, and while her explosions don't seem as powerful as Combustion Man's, she makes up for it with greater skill. Like Combustion Man, Pli is able to guide her shots, being able to make them curve, and she's able to firebend normally, even blocking Dragonfire and then knocking the thing out of the sky. Later, she fights the Beifong sisters and some backup, and does incredibly well, only losing because she got distracted by a coordinated plan. Number 4, I have Kuvira, a metal bending prodigy taken in by Toph daughter Su Yin. Kuvira is debatably the best metal bender in the series, able to take out dozens of benders with zero effort. Later in book 4, she 1v1s and mentally weakens Korra and demolishes her. Even after Korra gets her avatar mojo back, Kuvira still remains incredibly relative to base Korra, although on the back foot this time. And finally, the top 3. At number 3, it has Zahir, the final member and leader of the Red Lotus. Zahir was already a master martial artist before gaining his airbending, and through his study of airbender culture, he was able to gain a grasp of his airbending and combine it with his martial arts extremely quickly. Afterwards, he was able to contend with extremely powerful and talented benders like Tenzin, although he was on the back foot. This was before gaining his ability to fly, which makes him practically impossible for everyone below him to fight. Once he could fly, he fought and nearly defeated a poisoned Avatar State Korra, and finally, if he wasn't broken enough, he can literally rip the air out of your lungs. And at number 2, I have Firelord Ozai. Ozai is kind of difficult to scale because 90% of his feats happen during Sozin's Comet, but it's still possible. It's stated in the Avatar extras that Ozai is the strongest firebender in the world, so attuned with the sun that he's able to sense the exact moment the eclipse ends and immediately fire this monster of a lightning bolt. Ozai versus Zahir is still extremely close in my opinion. It really depends on whether you think Ozai can fly and tag Zahir with a lightning bolt even without Sozin's Comet. I think Ozai could do this, but I wouldn't blame you if you thought Zahir was over Ozai. And at number 1, I have Amon. So a while ago, I made this TikTok video about the strongest benders in each element, and I put Amon at the top of water, right? I got accused of glazing thousands of times in that comment section. So I'm just going to list a bunch of Amon feats and try not to dig much. Feat number 1, Yakon, who Amon at the very worst is equal to, was able to blood bend and knock out an entire courtroom of people, including a Prime, Toph, and Aang. Did all that with just his mind, by the way. Feat number 2, he mastered psychic bloodbending and day bloodbending at the age of 14. Feat number 3, he dodges a lightning bolt. Feat number 4, he walks through his mother's bloodbending, who can knock out a whole main cast of Legend of Korra. Feat number 5, takes a point-blank lightning bolt from Mako and gets up like a minute later. But TLDR, Amon is a completely broken monster that solos the list. Circling back to the question at the beginning of the video, who had it worse in terms of villains, Aang and Korra? Korra's villains take up 70% of the list, bro. I don't know what you want me to say. I I'm a Korra hater. I do not like Korra at all, but even I can admit she had it way worse, bro. Like Aang debatably had a worse situation overall with like the 100-Year War, but me personally, I'd fight Azula any day before I have to fight Zahir or Aman, bro. Nah, but that's the video. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed.